Andrew, congratulations on a fantastic season for the women's team and your involvement. Can you just tell us your emotions of, from the whole journey?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Well, certainly my emotions on the day winning the grand final was joy and excitement. Excitement to be there, to be part of it. The atmosphere was great, but joy for the girls themselves and all the staff and the coaches, that many of who had been there from the beginning, particularly Bree and Craig, to be able to see the sense of achievement that they got brought genuine joy. I couldn't take the smile off my face I think I've still got it actually.
So your passion for women's football predates your involvement with the Lions AFL or even the introduction of an AFLW. You were a coach, your daughters played. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I was a little bit lucky, so in the sense that I'd always had an association at the community football level with West Juniors, and one of my daughters was keen to play, and so she talked a group of her friends into forming a team, and so I coached the first women's team or girls team at West Juniors. We were spectacularly unsuccessful on the field because none of the girls had played before, but I'd like to think we were successful in developing or setting the foundation for that program and bringing a exposure of the game to the girls and developing a love for the game for some of those girls. And so, since that time, I've seen the joy that participation in the game can bring to girls of all ages. And then I suppose from a club perspective, I've seen the benefit that it brings to the club. It makes us a much more complete part of the community to have that program. We reach out to a different set of supporters as well as our traditional supporters. It brings new people to the game. So, both from a participation level and a club level, I can see the benefit that it brings.
And the players and the staff can definitely see that your passion is genuine. The story's becoming famous about some of your involvements, the last-minute dash to buy hairspray, a couple of others. Can you talk to me about some of these funny stories that we all know happened and that probably emphasises your genuine involvement in the side?
Yeah, it's one of the real joys of the women's football program at the moment is that it's all hands on deck, and particularly when you travel. So you travel with a fairly skeleton crew, and there's no point standing around when there's a lot to be done. And so, first of all, I've always had the view that we should demonstrate from a club point of view the genuine passion we have for the program and the support that we want to provide it. So one way I can do that is by making sure I'm there and I'm present, which I try and do. I think since the AFLW started, I've only missed 3 of their games. One of them was because I was locked up after our men's Geelong game because of the COVID situation. So I've always tried to be there. And then when you're travelling interstate and something needs to be done, I'm happy to do it. So I have had some interesting jobs. I've been the pumper up of the footballs to be given out to the crowd after the game. As you mentioned, I have been dispatched to buy hairspray when the girls ran out of hairspray before one of the games. That was interesting, trying to find hairspray on a Sunday morning in Geelong. This year we got to Melbourne. People will remember that our game was transferred from Hickey Park to Melbourne at short notice when we got to Melbourne. Matt Green, our fitness coach, realised we didn't have any energy gels, so I found myself in a chemist in Footscray, trying to find some energy gels. I bought the whole shelf of energy gels and got those back to the club. The one job that I wasn't very good at, and Bree Brock sacked me from, was putting up the sponsor signs. So I've never been very good at arts and crafts, and Bree said, can you put the sponsor signs around the walls of the rooms at Fremantle Oval? And about 4 packets of blue tack and five packs of sticky tape later, the signs were still falling off the walls. So Bree's never asked me to do that one again.
So you talk about when you're there, it's all hands on deck, and you didn't miss the celebrations either, did you, after the Premiership? There's a famous photo going around of you with that cup.
Yeah, there is a famous photo of me of that cup. I should say that I was largely responsible on that night, but I did take a little drink out of the cup to celebrate. And it was a great night that night, and it was a shame in some ways that that the game was away from Brisbane. It was Adelaide, although I must admit, I think that the girls felt that was such a challenge that it actually helped them focus on what they needed to do. But one of the special things was that the celebrations after the game meant that there was close family and friends and the people that had been involved in the program. So it was quite a special night. And of course the girls have had numerous opportunities since then to share that with the broader supporter base, including being presented to the crowd at Port Adelaide home game.